Wake up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Wake Up Woodward show. Man, I'm feeling pretty pumped up. It's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. And we got the vet of the squad, Flannel Sam. How are you this morning, brother?
You know, I'm good. I had a very Detroit sports-esque night last night. I watched the Tiger game. I almost had a heart attack at the end.
You're glowing, though. You're glowing.
Hey, I almost had a heart attack at the end, but they ended up pulling it out. Thank you, Jason Foley, by the way. And I also, right after that game ended and I finally settled down, I was able to watch episode 1 of Wide Receiver featuring Amon-Ra St. Brown, among others.
Nice.
Heavily featured Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Heavily.
Great.
Yes.
That sounds like a great night.
Hey, I feel pretty damn ready for today's show then. Lot to talk about, right?
Pumped up, man. Pumped up. You guys already know, listen. I like Go Blue, Michigan, all that good stuff, man. All my kids was born there. My siblings.
Yeah.
I was born on the campus. But there are some times when it is appropriate that we pay homage to our rivals, the Spartans. We got the legend GREG KELSER. He will be live in studio today.
Oh.
In studio today.
That's exciting. But the funny thing is that if this version of Flannel Sam were alive in 1979, I would have rooted so hard for Larry Bird in Indiana State, and I probably would have been brokenhearted that night. Come on. Hey, but you know what? Magic Johnson, GREG KELSER, are you kidding me? I can't think of a better college basketball duo ever, and I'm kind of curious. Yeah. We're gonna have a lot to say to GREG KELSER. He's a legend.
Say,
yeah.
Look, I got to interview him at a couple different kind of community events.
Yeah.
And it was cool to hear his story about how he and Magic Johnson met and became friends at St. Cecilia Gym, the legendary St. Cecilia Gym. I'm sure he'll talk about it too. But if he did lose to Larry Bird in that 1979 national championship, we wouldn't have a national champion walking through our doors today.
That's fair. So, you know, trust me, if you come into our studio, and obviously GREG KELSER doesn't need any bump from me or anything like that, but that just makes you you can be anybody. You could literally be my least favorite athlete in the entire world, and I'm still like, thank you so much. Which GREG KELSER certainly is not, by the way.
Yeah,
Tons of respect
and he's a great guy. I got to see him yesterday at the JB Bickerstaff press conference, and he told me, man, he's looking forward to being able to drop by, talk some Pistons. We're going to honor the legend Earl Cureton, who passed away earlier this year, and talk about how GREG KELSER is impacting the community in many different ways, including his basketball camp. So I can't wait. But let me tell you guys about the rest of the crew. So we got the whole squad in the building, man. And everybody's dressed so appropriately. I'm so proud. I mean, even JB Smooth over there. What up, though? The Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth.
Hello.
Hey, you look like you're dressed appropriately there.
I feel like I'm dressed appropriately. You got the, the Sparty on the top, representing the Woo right here as well.
I remember my first beer.
Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. What up, though, KG?
Hey, man.
Full on Black Hollywood mode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, great night last night. Me and Sam had similar nights, man. I had the Tigers game on in the background as I watched the first 2 episodes of Receiver. Very good, by the way. Very, very good. You also crushed it at the press conference, bro. Very proud of you, man. Asked a great question, man. So, yeah, looking forward to the day, man. Special K in the studio. Let's get it.
Listen, I appreciate you guys. All of the prep that we go through, all of the conversation that we have, allowing the Pistons conversation to continue to grow since we started this has kind of led up to having me in an even better spot than some of the places I had been prior. And Rod Beard actually talked about how being on the show, coming on here and talking Pistons with us actually helped to influence some of the questions that he also was able to ask at the press conference. So he wanted me to make sure that I brought back the love and the thanks back to the Woo crew and to the chat family as well. I'm telling you, it's about what we do for this team and how we make each other better. And you guys definitely help me be better. So thank you guys. That dude Justin is in the building as well, always working hard. Got the Riley Green jersey on too. Hey, it's clean, man. I'm sure Flannel Sam is proud of you today. And you know what? Got to talk about our credential. I saved the best for last because he's making his return. What up, though? Our credential Tigers and Lions reporter, Matthew Broder.
That's an intro. Like that, Mason better watch out. That's how you get a show started. I like that. I miss you guys. You guys killed it yesterday at Feldman, by the way. Hey. But I'm excited to be back.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited.
We missed your freaky ass yesterday.
SAB, they say.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Found Lizzie.
You know, with the camera on you, though, brother. You want to tell the people what we will be talking about today?
I would. What started in the second half of the show got moved up to the front because the Tigers somehow managed to win game 3 out of 4 against the Guardians.
You can't make this up, bro.
You can't make it up. And it was a wild game. We're going to talk about that out of the first break. Then we're going to get into some Pistons. We're going to get into that JB Bickerstaff press conference that our man Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, was at. Asked a great question. Had some great coverage there, so I want to pick your brain about that. And then the man, the myth, the legend, GREG KELSER. Number 5 overall pick for the Pistons back in, was it 79 or 80? Number 4. Number 4, excuse me. He's coming at 8:45, so we're going to chat Pistons. Everything you just introed, his summer camps, everything. And then in the second half of the show, we're going to talk Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was all over social media, streaming. I won't say TV. I'll say streaming, Netflix, Pivot Podcast. We're going to talk Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kirby Joseph, and some more in the second half. I'm excited. It's going to be a great show.
I'm excited, man.
Phenomenal.
I'm ecstatic. And like, you know, football is right around the corner.
Yeah.
When Stick sent that text to the group chat, and it's like, you know, obviously we know preseason football starts up in August, but just to see it, August 8th, less than a month away until Hendon Hooker season, baby. Let's go.
How about this?
I'm pumped up, man.
9 days till training camp begins.
Man.
Dude, the rookies report on Saturday the 20th. 9 days. And then the season just comes. It's here. It's here. And we're in the midst of it. You know what? Shout out to you, chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this entire Wake Up Woodward thing. Go ahead and smash that like button. Satisfied. Think about this, man. We've gotten through this far with great content covering all 4 sports because the chat family has stayed engaged. They've proven they're not just for the team that is currently winning, which is the Lions, but they're for all of their teams, even when they are in the gutter.
Yeah.
Hey. How y'all feeling out there today? You know we got a special show with Special K coming in the studio. But go ahead and hit that like button. Not just for me, but for you. We appreciate you.
So that's the way we like to.
Let's go. Wait. What was that? Who was doing those other ad-libs? Somebody
Justin.
Go ahead and smash that like button. But let's get warmed up, man. Let's get into these layup lines. I know we got a lot to talk about today. I'm ecstatic. I'm fired up, man. For real. And before we get into it, we got to shout out Byron Bennett. This is Connor Bryce's dad. It's his 63rd birthday. Connor actually wore 63. It was his number for football in high school. So he wanted to shout out his dad. Not a huge sports fan, but maybe tuning in today. Shout out to you, Byron Bennett. Happy birthday. Hey. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. We are, next week we're going to get into a Wolverine Wednesday while you're out in Las Vegas Summer League Kool-Aid. So I'm gonna skip that first question we have in layup lines because I really want to ask you. Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday, actually he was in his interview on the Pivot podcast, he broke down, or he shared with the crew, if he were to build the perfect wide receiver with attributes from any wide receiver in NFL history, what would he pick? And the guys asked him for the best, the speed, size, the route running, or feet, hands, and toughness. So I'm just going to pose that question to you, whether we want to do it as a group or individually. Let's build the perfect wide receiver. Flannel, where would you start? The fastest. You want speed, and you're building a perfect wide receiver. Who are you going after?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill
easy.
might be the fastest human being who's ever walked Earth. Like, I know that it's technically not true because it's Usain Bolt, but what my eyes tell me when I watch Tyreek Hill on the football field is there has never been a player in the history of the NFL, I don't care who you bring up, that can break a game open with his speed quite like Tyreek Hill. So give me Tyreek Hill for speed.
Anybody else?
It's Tyreek Hill for me.
Anybody want to go Randy Moss?
Nah, I want the hands of Randy Moss. That's what I want.
Oh, Randy Moss' hand.
Yes.
I mean,
Or the
KG,
hands of Larry Fitzgerald, either or.
Well, let's stick with speed here real quick. Hold that thought because we'll use Randy Moss in a few. It's not even close. Like, you guys want to go Devin Hester or Dante Hall. You want the best wide receiver who's also the fastest?
yes, Devin Hester and Dante Hall aren't wide receivers. I mean, technically they were, but like Tyreek Hill is a superstar, a super duper star wide receiver, the type that would retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. And also, as I said before, maybe the fastest human being who's ever walked Earth.
Fair. One for one. Amon-Ra St. Brown also picked Tyreek Hill. Size. Amon-Ra picked Kelvin Johnson.
it's so easy.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
This is
Absolutely.
a given, right?
Man.
Absolutely.
Megatron.
So
Yeah.
easy.
Yep.
I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
All right. Feet. Route running. Actually, the question was route running. Amon-Ra St. Brown went, hey, can I go with feet? And he chose Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. This is one where we can veer off a little bit, if you would. Anybody have any other options?
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I was just thinking Jerry.
It's got to be Jerry Rice.
I was surprised St. Brown didn't have Jerry Rice on there.
Well, because Jerry Rice is
Probably
obviously
the era.
Yeah, he's 100%. He's very talented. We all know that, but he doesn't have the speed of Tyreek Hill or the size of a Calvin Johnson. Jerry Rice's best attributes were that he was just a technician as a wide receiver, and he was obviously very durable and great for a long, long time. You got to put Jerry Rice up there for feet or route running, however you want to qualify it.
Anybody else have any other options? I put Antonio Brown as a possibility.
That's a
Not
that's
bad. You
And we're
can
talking prime Antonio Brown.
Oh,
Prime
yeah.
players
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You can also go Devontae Adams if you
Yes.
wanted to.
yeah.
Yes. Great
Somebody in the
choices.
future in like 5 to 10 years, Puka cool.
I can't predict the future, my friend. but maybe. St. Brown maybe in a couple years also. All right.
Yeah.
Hands. I actually put Jerry Rice here. It was
Okay.
either between hands
Okay.
or route running. I went with hands. What do you guys think? Hands.
You know what? Joseph Campbell III from the chat said Herman Moore had great hands too.
He did.
I've got a note saying he
Shout
should
out.
be in consideration. When we talk hands, we got to remember Herman Moore is one of the best.
JB already said it. I think I'm going to go with Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
That's a good one. For hands.
Just Mr. Consistency.
Yep.
I'm going Mouse.
Moss.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he's got a whole series based off of, or you know, what they say, you got mossed.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
got jacked up,
Literally.
and then it became you got mossed.
Fitzgerald, though, is that guy that if you ever saw him drop the ball, you were utterly surprised.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about Larry Fitz. I was surprised if he ever dropped the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What
Oh,
about toughness? Who's the toughest wide receiver? St. Brown. He picked Hines Ward of the Steelers.
Ooh,
Great
that's a
pick.
good
That's a
pick.
good pick.
I got some options if you guys want some examples.
Hold on.
See, I have a personal bias. I think Hines Ward is overrated, so I don't want to pick him.
Here we go. The fun police
Oh, that
over here.
reminds me, JMO. We'll talk about it.
No, honestly,
Goodness.
God,
Hines Ward.
you want to talk about me getting really deep into the weeds and being a nerd. I put a video in Slack. You don't have to play it because I'm not sure if it's allowed or anything like that. I don't want us to get
Just talk
distracted.
over it.
Okay, cool. I put a video in Slack. This, my friends, is Sammy White from the Minnesota Vikings. Look at these hits that he took. This was in the Super Bowl that they played against the Oakland Raiders. He gets clotheslined right there. His helmet gets taken off of his head and he gets right back up. But this to me is not really the telling thing when it comes to Sammy White. What we're about to see right after this is in the exact same game. He takes the single hardest hit I've ever seen on a football field.
Man, and he came with the receipts too.
And in that era, the shoulder pad, the pads they were wearing, non-existent.
Yeah. How about Steve Smith?
You know what?
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Steve
Damn.
Smith.
That's what I had.
can I change my pick? Can I change my pick?
No.
Steve Smith,
Steve
man.
Smith. That, you know what? That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yes, yeah. Can I just take that executive
Pitbull.
No.
decision and change my pick?
No.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, fine. You know what? Shame on me.
You had video evidence. You can't take it back now.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
I like that you want. I like that you want a
Steve
different
Smith
era.
Jr.,
yeah.
Yeah. What about Anquan Bolden, Terrell Owens, or Ed McCaffrey?
Terrell Owens came back in from a broken leg in like 6 weeks. Damn.
Yeah,
You know?
That Sammy White decision is starting to. I'm starting to have some regret. Hey, he stood in there and took those hits, though. Shout out to Sammy White, but T.O., that's damn, man.
It almost has to come from an era back then.
Yeah.
That was fun, though. We just built our perfect wide receiver. Great job. When we come back, we got to talk about the Tigers.
Hey, welcome back, brother.
I'm back. Yeah, hey, like Mace.
The whole 5 plus a 6 man. Everything's working out, man. Let's rock.
Hey, everybody is working out, and you know where you guys should go work out. Planet Fitness, of course. It's fitness that fits, no pun intended, your budget. Wow, Broder. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? One of the perks, upgrade to the Planet Fitness Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they got your back.
Hey, you know what? Wake Up Woodward also has your back. And chat family, I'm hoping you guys have ours. Go ahead and hit that like button to support the Woo Crew. We got the entire starting 5 plus the 6 man in the building. You know what, Broder? Before we get into Detroit Tigers talk, we're gonna have to. No, listen, it's okay. It's nothing bad. We should do like a wide receiver and quarterback and running back edition for like the Lions as well as for the all-time greats. And then with college football season coming up, why not do it for that as well? I'm sure Brother Edwards.
I would love to have his take on that. And the thing we push to next week, the first thing in layup line is Will Johnson. Talking about Will Johnson being the highest rated player in EA Sports
Michigan
College Football 25.
2 Michigan players in the top 10. Mason Graham was also represented.
Yeah,
too.
But you're right. Maybe we just go through each sports. As we lead into the fall, I think we're going to start handing out off-season grades. We're going to start previewing the season. Michigan next week. Lions they're coming in hot. We're going to start covering them a lot more. And the Tigers, man, if they keep playing like they're playing, they're giving us a reason to talk about them. I like that, selfishly. I think Flannel likes that.
Dude.
But they're battling Kool-Aid.
All year, I've held on to what you said in the beginning of the season.
Remind them?
That this thing is going to be something that looks like this all year. They're going to be up, they're going to be down, they're going to look awful, they're going to look great. You're going to see the potential, and then you're going to be like, where did it go? But ultimately, the team is going to be hovering around 500. And there's been multiple times this season, that the wheels could have absolutely fallen off. And it's still ahead of them. It could still happen.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, they're saying, not today. To take the first 2 of 3 from the Guardians and give yourself an opportunity to win this series 3-1, to start this homestand against a gauntlet of a schedule, I'm happy. Like, I'm really happy. Like, as a fan, I'm like, yo, this is pretty awesome.
No, yeah. And I get it. Some people are going to say that it's too little too late, which it very well might be. It very well might be. But I was almost irrationally happy after last night. And one of the reasons why is because, and I think we can all agree with this, and I think everybody in the chat, we can come together on this. Nobody deserves those end-of-game victory high fives more than Reese Olson. For all of the crap that he has been through this year, for all of those games, he has actually pitched this season. Not to bring up negative stuff, but it's relevant to this conversation. Reese Olson has had 4 starts in which he's gone at least 5 and allowed 0 earned runs that the Tigers have lost. So that means either they've given him no run support, the bullpen's blown it, or both. He was the starting pitcher in my opinion, the worst loss of the season, that 1-0 10-inning loss at home against the Marlins. Reese Olson was the starter for that one, to the shock of absolutely no one. But Reese Olson got a win in a game in which he gave you basically the minimum threshold for a quality start. It wasn't one of his better starts. He didn't have his best stuff, but he battled. And when your offense gives you a lead, which the Tigers actually did this time, sometimes you just got to hang on and get outs any way that you can get them. And Reese Olson, he battled. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tyler Holton for a clean outing. He's another one who's been not what I thought he was going to be, certainly not what he was last year. If he can get it together and finish the season strong, this could be huge for the Tigers. Shout out Jason Foley for coming into an absolute, tough situation.
Thank you, Alex Faedo.
Yeah, thank you for that, Alex Faedo.
Tried to get a game away.
And thank you, AJ Hinch, for that. But we're not going to talk about Hinch today because they did win. But Jason Foley, he was able to induce a ground ball in which the Guardians player was trying to run home. I forgot who it was. Doesn't really matter. He was caught in a rundown. He was out. And then for some reason, they intentionally walked the next guy, which left them up. And I get it. They wanted to face Austin Hedges, who is absolute trash. He's one of the worst hitters in all of Major League Baseball. But it left them open to a wild pitch or a pass ball, which leaves the go-ahead run on second. That was a lot of pressure there. Shout out Colt Keith at an RBI triple. Shout out Matt Vierling. And also, shout out my guy, Andy Ibanez, one of the most undervalued players in all of Major League Baseball. The most egregious of is I think he's undervalued by our own AJ Hinch, but that's another story for another day. Of course he hit a pinch hit home run because against left-handed pitching, he's basically prime Barry Bonds. I think he should get more starts and more at-bats. That's another story for another day, but they did enough to get a win, and it's a bigger win than you think. And now, you know what you have? Jack Flaherty going on the mound with a chance to take 3 out of 4 from Cleveland. And then the first game against the Dodgers, you got Tarek Skubal. And got an opportunity, man.
Yeah, and the Tigers can find themselves going from 8.5 back to 6.5 back in the wild card race. They currently are 7 back, tied with the Texas Rangers, and they just leapfrogged the Toronto Blue Jays. It's like, dude, what do we think about this team? We were just a week ago like, hey, you know what? This thing is approaching sell territory, but they just won't completely die. 5 games under 500 with an opportunity to win this series against the Guardians.
I said it. If the Tigers go 4-3 on this homestand, you can dare to dream. And right now, they're in a really good position to do that. Anything less than that, and it's immediate sell. And I will give you that for sure. But all they got to do is split the next 4 games, and they go 4-3 on this homestand. But now you're starting to think, Jack Flaherty's going today, Tarek Skubal tomorrow.
They put themselves in a good position.
Yes, those are 2 phenomenal pitchers. Tarek Skubal's the Cy Young winner. I mean, would probably be if the season ended today.
Into existence.
Hey, Corbin Burns had kind of a rough outing yesterday, took an L. You know, I'm just saying. And Jack Flaherty has obviously been phenomenal. So, yeah, the Tigers, they have an opportunity to make it interesting. I'm not saying that they're for sure going to come back or anything, but make it interesting. Give us a reason to watch. Give me a reason to be excited to come in and talk Tigers.
This is the type of baseball. This is the team and how they're playing recently. Not to say that if it was extrapolated over a full season, they'd be a 750 winning percentage. They have won 6 of 8, but when we were trying to justify at the beginning of the season not going out and getting big bats or getting Matt Chapman or JD Martinez for a year, it's because we thought they were going to play more like this, like young players stepping up, the veterans stepping up in timely situations, having them just battle and having to manufacture wins like they're doing, whether it's 1-0, 5-4, 4-3, like. This is why we thought they were going to be around 500 at the end of the season, just because they're not good enough yet, especially offensively, to really take that next step to be a true contender. But we thought they were good enough to just compete like they are, to make it happen in games like this, especially in the AL Central. So it's so exciting to see them doing it. It's too bad that they're in such a hole. It's too bad that their offense has been so bad. But now when you got guys like Colt Keith starting to hit, Riley Green is an all-star bat in the middle of that lineup. Like, we start thinking, what if Torkelson had figured it out at the beginning of the season, or we got better play from even Urshela or Vierling? There's so much we could look back on and wish things were different with this season. It's fun to finally see them playing like they are now. And shout out to Dante151, that $9.99 super chat. He says, shout out to the younger players for the Tigers for killing it in the month of July. Like Colt Keith, that dude is hot. Because, my God, the Tigers would be doing nothing at all. Also, and we may answer this later in the show, Dante, thoughts on Rich Eisen having Gibbs at number 2 running back in the NFL?
A smart man.
Wow.
I'm saving that till the end, but that's wild.
Who? Rich Eisen? Hey, shout out. Smart man. Where was he educated?
Go Blue.
Where was he educated?
Oh, okay. You damn right.
Awesome.
You
Smart
damn
man,
right.
that Rich Eisen, man. And you know what?
Colt Keith's a stud.
Absolute stud. That was somebody I was hoping was going to start the season a little hot if pitchers didn't quite, know where his hot zones were. But he's somebody that had to warm up as the season has gone on, and now it's looking really, really dependable.
I mean,
go ahead.
In the month of July, he's the best player in baseball. I mean, I can't say that for sure because I don't have every stat in front of me, but his OPS in the month of July is like 1,400.
I tried to find a safe word to say dependable, but you know what? Hey, listen to Flannel Sam.
And I know July's there. What is it today? The 11th. But seriously, Colt Keith is the best player in baseball for the month of July, and it's important. And it's gotten to the point where because he had such a poor start, some of it was bad luck, but some of it was he just wasn't playing well. He's had to get to the point where he's been so hot at times to where his season numbers are actually starting to look better, to the point where I'm hoping by the end of the year, I don't think he'll have better numbers than Riley Green, shout out Terry Foster, but I do think by the end of the season, you could look at Colt Keith and be like, he had a really good rookie year.
Yeah, and all the advanced metrics had said up until, the point where he's hitting now that he was going to turn it around. He was going to improve. So have you officially turned it around on Colt Keith? Do you still want him shot to the moon?
I never wanted Colt Keith shot to the moon.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I know.
But have you come
not
around on Colt Keith?
I have. And, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like I got unnecessarily labeled a Colt Keith hater. And it all started, you know who it all started with?
Neil.
Somebody in the chat. It was not Neil Rule.
Chuck?
Shot.
No, it was somebody in the chat who has actually, we've gone back and forth on Twitter positively lately. The Shaquille Oatmeal.
Hey.
Because I posted something on X, I'll call it X now because that's what it is, a while ago saying that Riley Green deserves to be an all-star. And then the Shaquille Oatmeal said something like, did you smoke at Dispo before you posted that? And I'm like, wait a minute. That's controversial. Are you kidding me? And then he says, I prefer Colt Keith. And then the Colt Keith truthers kind of came out of the woodward and were sort of using Colt Keith to diminish Riley Green, in my opinion. And I'm just kind of like, whoa. There are levels to this. And I get it. Colt Keith as a rookie is different than Riley Green in year 3. But yes, the point is that I got a little bit bitter. I may have let some things get to me a little bit. Yes, I've turned it around on Colt Keith.
Good job, man. I'm proud of you, Sam.
That's great to hear.
But also, do you guys consider tonight like one of the more important games in the Tiger season right now? You got Jack Flaherty on the mound. In case they lose, you need Flaherty to pitch good so you can trade him at the deadline, most likely. What's the feelings about tonight's game, man?
I think it's definitely a big game. I believe
They
it's
creeping
important.
up the wild card.
Yeah, that's what it's the importance. There are definitely important facts here, important notes here, and for the confidence, for continuity, for consistency, for proving that this is more than just kind of a flair at the right time, proving that this is who you are as a squad. The belief in that AJ Hinch has shown in some of these players. I think that there's a lot of things that you can take away from this game tonight. And if you win, you feel really, really good. I mean, just for the fans alone and the supporters and everything, I'm just on a completely different high as it relates to the Detroit Tigers this morning because of how this series has started.
And KG, you brought it up perfectly. It's a two-part thing because as happy as we are now, even if the Tigers continue to play well, they might have dug too much of a hole to where they're going to sell anyway. So yes, Jack Flaherty, I'd like for him to pitch well so the Tigers can get a series win, but I'd also like for him to pitch well so that he keeps that trade value going up. Because if you're a team that has some questions about his recent back injections, can't blame him.
Yeah.
So go out there, Jack Flaherty, and pitch a good game and show that you are healthy. And before we go to break, just so I can clarify this, Colt Keith in the month of July has a 1,300 OPS. That's
fire.
That's
on fire.
That's just outer space amazing.
How about in his 8-game hitting streak, it's a 1,400 OPS.
See, that's what I was thinking of. That's
wild.
Basically, in the month of July, he's been the best player in baseball.
And what he's doing, we got to get to break because we want to get into the basketball vibe. But Colt Keith, when he's turned it around, he's been hitting off-speed pitches. He's been waiting, sitting back and waiting on the sliders, the curveballs, the changeups, and then just slapping the forcing fastball to left field. What he did last night, he hit a laser forcing fastball for a triple to left center field. He's starting to make adjustments on those off-speed pitches, and now he's catching up to those fastballs and actually hitting them in the gaps. It's great. Kool-Aid, take us to break, man.
Hey, the Shaquille O'Neal, he said, I love it, Flannel. You just need to keep confidence in young Colt.
As long as you guys have confidence in Riley Green, we can come together.
Hey, keep having confidence in us and have confidence in Premier Pet. They're hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference: they've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. They also offer you same day local curbside and home delivery. Give your pet the best and visit them online as well, PremierPetSupply.com.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring, which means you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it is technology that's been backed by people. In your safety and security, it deserves technology that's proven to work and people who have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here above my head, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. And welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the Woo Crew. Man, Detroit sports. It's a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We got one really, really, really good team. One team in the Red Wings who's probably about to cross that line into playoff team. And then a couple of them that are kind of trying to find their way right now. But all in all, a lot to talk about.
Lot to talk about, especially at an event that you had the privilege of going to yesterday.
Yes, sir. Killed it, too.
Mr. J.B. Bickerstaff and his press conference that he didn't really share, but Trajan Langdon was right there by his side, shows that they're a unit, that they're one, that they're two basketball minds who have had success coming together. Love to see it.
I love to see it. J.B. Bickerstaff was somebody who, even more so, you see like the first press conference, then we have the media scrum afterwards in the one-on-ones. That guy's a coach, man.
Yeah.
Being in sports and everything, just hearing him talk, seeing the mannerisms, kind of you can with a coach, you generally can almost feel the expectation. It's more than just what that person says. Like with a substitute teacher, sorry, Flannel, I'm probably not feeling the expectation, but with a coach, you're just like, bro, when he says it, you believe it, and you got to do it, especially if you bought into this team. And J.B. Bickerstaff, he gave me that impression overall yesterday. He said a lot of good things. Obviously, we've heard people in the past say a lot of good things. And so we want to be able to see what he's saying translate on the court. But I do believe that at least the plan that we kind of heard throughout the press conference yesterday was one that you can at least get behind.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And for the record, as a substitute teacher, I certainly was 2023-24 Monty Williams. That version. I will say that. That's why I'm not doing that right now.
Man.
No, but it also, yeah.
I would pay good money to see you be a substitute teacher for a day.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do want just your first kind of quick just impression of J.B. Bickerstaff in the press conference yesterday.
I don't want to be too just cliche, but obviously it seems like he cares. He didn't mention money or anything in that. He's passionate.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here. He mentioned some things, some specific things, like how he values Cade Cunningham. When the question was posed about defense, he even mentioned Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart by name, which I find pretty intriguing because we all know a guy like Jalen Duren, that's the one thing he's missing. Obviously, he can't shoot the three or much or anything like that, but in the short term, if he can get those defensive instincts up a little bit, if he can use the frame that, like, he won the genetic lottery. He is built to be a rim protecting type guy. If he can really hone all of that in and allow J.B. Bickerstaff to kind of mold him, I think we can maybe get the best out of Jalen Duren. Maybe make him a poor man's Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. Not saying he's going to be those guys as a defender, but a poor man's. Get the most out of his defensive talent. He mentioned something that I also think is interesting and very appropriate for this team about units on the court that fit. That was huge to me because I think that there's a pathway that you can get a first unit and a second unit that fit together well. And that there's not a lot of, I would say, moments where there's not enough shooters on the court, there's not enough defenders. You can probably always get enough of what you want in two units, and I think he values that. And lastly, I think he understands what Jaden Ivey's skill set is.
Yes.
That's what really kind of was like, okay, he understands what Jaden Ivey is. He understands play downhill, that he's athletic.
Around those and has coached those types of guards.
100%. And obviously we know Monty Williams' first faux pas was that he benched Jaden Ivey at the beginning of the season. He put in a lineup with Killian Hayes and playing next to Cade Cunningham, playing next to Asar Thompson. It wasn't right. And I'm not saying that I'm the biggest Jaden Ivey fan or anything like that, but J.B. Bickerstaff might understands how to get Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey to fit together as well as they can, or get Jaden Ivey running the second unit. So I'm not too much into opening press conferences, but J.B. Bickerstaff certainly impressed the hell out of me. He said a lot of important things with not a lot of fluff. KG?
Yeah. And you hit everything on the head, man. But one thing that he said that I thought, was kind of important that maybe people overlook is the fact that he wants these kids to have fun. He literally brought that up multiple times. Like, the vibes are going to be different here. We're going to have people in this building that they feel good coming in to see every day. And I think that's important when you have a team coming off a 14-win team. When you've had the 2 to 3 year stretch that the Pistons have had, let alone the last 20 years, like, it could get stressful coming in that building, man. And I think that's going to do a lot for these young guys, man, coming in the building, knowing that, yeah, we're going to hold you to a certain expectation, but at the same time, we're getting back to the core of this thing. We're getting back to having fun on the court. Like JB mentioned, that you will be able to watch the TV and see the type of basketball that they're trying to play. So I just have a lot of confidence. He just seems like he gets it, man. I think this was the right hire. I feel way more secure about it now, including everything else he said about the defense, about Jay Ivey playing downhill, getting shooters around Cade Cunningham and utilizing him to his ability. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I think they did a good job here.
KJ, I like what you said, maybe a transition to what their identity might look like on the court, because our man Brandon Dent asked a really great question.
Shout out
to JB Bickerstaff. But I'll put a bow on this part because I agree with everything you guys said. To me, it wasn't necessarily what he said, it was how he said it. Like, he spoke with energy and some charisma, and this is not a shot at Monty Williams, Troy Weaver, Dwayne Casey, not a shot at any of them, but it feels like for the last few years, like energy. Press conferences, they've just been very monotone. They've been very boring. There's no character to it. JB Bickerstaff, he looks energized. He looks ready to go, and I think that will not only help him communicating with the younger team, but just in general, this team needs a little energy. It needs a little spark. I feel like this could be the guy.
Yeah, and not just a spark from an aspect of like being rah, 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 but from a guy who can say, I need that type of energy in everything you do as it relates to working out, making sure that you're there for each other as teammates, and making sure that you guys are going out there and giving your all when it's time to hit the court. But yeah, I was able to ask him, one of the more important things to me is just this identity and culture. We've heard everybody say, well, he didn't really mesh well with the Cleveland Cavaliers, young guys. He wasn't really able to build the type of identity and culture and whatnot. So I just wanted to kind of get, and then we've heard on the other side, well, no, he was somebody that had some success. He just clashed with one of the star players. And we saw as soon as Bickerstaff was out, Donovan Mitchell signs that contract.
Yep.
So I was interested about what things he valued as it relates to building an identity and a culture. So, JB, you have that clip?
Oh, yep. I got
let's rock.
Welcome to Detroit. It's Brandon Dent, Woodward Sports. I just wanted to ask, what are some of the most important aspects of building a team identity or culture, especially with a young one like this?
The fun part about it is, you get to start here and mold it how you kind of see fit. And one of the things that we do as a coaching staff when we come into these new situations is we try to find ways to connect our team with its fan base. We know the history of, the Detroit Pistons and the bad boys and the rough and rugged style that they like to play. And when they were at their best, with the Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups crew, how great they were defensively, how physical they were, how they challenged people, how they competed. And to me, it seemed from the outside looking in that their fan base embraced that style of play. Obviously, the rules are a little bit different now. But I believe that the Detroit fans will love guys who compete their tails off. They'll love guys who are willing to sacrifice their body for the greater good of the team. They'll love guys who play selfless basketball, and it's not just about me, me, me. So as we do our work and research, we study a way to connect the team to the fan base, and I think that's where we start. And I think we have the pieces here to do that. We have some rough and rugged guys that don't mind mixing it up, guys that don't mind scrapping and can play with a grit. But then again, understand how playing selfless basketball impacts winning. And I think that's where we'll start. But what you'll see is, come February, come March, you'll be able to turn on the TV and you'll be like, oh, that's Detroit Pistons basketball. And that's what we aim for.
Ooh, he said a key word there. Now look, all during the NFL draft, we heard prospects and even free agents use the keyword grit or gritty.
Yeah.
Did JB Bickerstaff just say
he
grit?
Absolutely did.
Oh man, that's music to my ears because we've been talking about the edge and the identity that we want to be able to see out of these Detroit Pistons. And you know what? He's saying the same things that we heard that Trajan Langdon said he wants out of his team. So we already know that there is kind of this one singular voice And they're going to try very, very hard to make sure that it is followed by these players. I'm hoping that the players are energized by everything that they heard and saw out of the J.B. Bickerstaff press conference. But he said a lot, man. To go and relate this thing to, not just mentioning, but talking about the specific players. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. From our previous teams, from the bad boys, from the going to work era. Because we hear this all the time. We're going to hear the coaches and new people come in and talk about, we're going to be just like the going to work Pistons. But I actually felt like he was somebody who studied this thing.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he said, you know what? We really want to be able to connect the fans to the team. What that means, in my opinion, is making sure that those players feel the responsibility of what these fans have already experienced, man. Yeah. And I absolutely love that.
Oh yeah, no, it was a great question by yourself, great answer by JB Bickerstaff, as you said before, and I think it's definitely important in the city of Detroit. Something that I'm learning in my many years that I've been here and the years that I will continue to be here is that it's important to know the history. It's like JB Bickerstaff wasn't just Coach X going to X team; he was going to the Detroit Pistons. I'm not saying that. Monty Williams, he just kind of came back. He said as much for the money. He probably would have preferred to take some time off. And JB Bickerstaff, he studied the Pistons. And I think with somebody like him, along with a guy like Fred Vincent, this is going to be a team that next year, the three-point shooting is going to go up, along with personnel, of course, guys like Malik Beasley and Tobias and Tim Hardaway Jr., and they're going to play better defense. Because even though Cleveland had a lot of very talented defensive players, guys like Max Strus and Georges Niang, they were really good defensive players under JB Bickerstaff. So I think guys are going to improve. The 3-and-D is going to expedite, and that alone, I think, will supercharge the Pistons rebuild to where it's maybe a little faster than you think, because I think Cade Cunningham's a special player. He will be in the Basketball Hall of Fame one day. Ooh. Yes, I said it. Cade Cunningham's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's special. He's special. He's generational. He's transformational. He's not what some people say. He is that guy to me.
Wow. You know what? You already know I love to hear it, man. Especially on the Woodward Pistons platform. We've been talking about this K-Zone for a few years, so I definitely like to hear this from somebody like Flannel Sam.
Yes.
But I need to get the opinion of somebody who watches a whole lot of Pistons basketball, man. A whole lot of NBA basketball in general. We got the legend in the building. We got GREG Special K Kelser in the building. 1979 NCAA champion.
Anybody in here born for 1979?
Oh,
you know what?
No. Well in the 90s.
Spartan great, man. Forever Sparty, right?
Forever.
He got the shirt on and everything, man. He came in repping. You know, all of us are Michigan guys except for JB Smoove in the TD booth. He wore his Spartan hat today as well to represent. So
all right.
I'm glad to have you on. We're going to pay some bills, and when we get back, we're going to talk to the legend, GREG Kelser. I can't wait.
Yes,
I can't wait. Got to get your opinion. You were there yesterday. It was good to see you. But first, let me tell you about something that's almost as awesome as GREG Kelser. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do is stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's is wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk. Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. That's right, four-time Stanley Cup champion winner D-Mac. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. I'm pumped up.
How can you not be?
I should have had the
How can you not be?
and the chain. Like, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. We got Greg Kelser in the building, man. Hey, listen, we do the drum roll for Rob Beard, but I need a round of applause. You guys better do it at home as well for the legend, Greg Kelser. Thank you, brother, for giving us your time.
You guys know how to welcome a guy.
Hey, listen, man, we appreciate you giving us your time and being here with us today. You do a lot. It's not just what you are as a basketball player, who you've been at the collegiate level, pro level, as well as an analyst for years now as well, which is probably where a lot of us know and love you from as well. It's also who you are as a person and your attention to detail in the community. That's something that stuck with me. I've covered the Pistons now 3.5 years, seeing you at the events like Holworth Park dedication, where the Pistons went through the community and redid, 60 courts and 44 parks, if I remember correctly. St. Cecilia's gym, the restoration of not just the gym, but that block and the impact that it has in the community as well. This is what your legacy is, and I'm grateful that you're able to give us your time here this morning, man.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You got a wonderful setup here, and you can feel the enthusiasm that you guys all share the moment you walk in. So
thank you.
Pleasure to be here. I'll try and not bring you down.
Oh, no, thank you.
Definitely not.
You know what? Definitely not, man. You're at the media center, in the media room. You're one of those guys that just kind of bring a smile to everybody's face, man. So it's awesome to see that it's not just what happens in front of the cameras, but also off the cameras as well. But Earl Cureton passed away earlier this year in February. Another one of those guys who was deep in the community, loved Detroit with a passion, and he showed it. He wore it on his sleeve, man. He gave his all, but he passed away. And you guys, especially doing the community stuff for Thick as Thieves, I wanted you to be able to just share a few words on Earl Cureton.
Yeah, Earl and I met in the summer of 1973. We were both 15 years old. We were trying out for the Detroit youth team, which was a team that would travel and represent the city of Detroit in the National Youth Games, which were held that year in Birmingham, Alabama. So we were trying out for the team, and we met. We became good friends, and Earl played at Finney High School. I played at Detroit Henry Ford High School. We actually played against each other in high school. But there was always a camaraderie there. I always pulled for him, cheered for him. He did the same for me. When he left to go to Robert Morris University and then the University of Detroit, I was a big fan. He always checked in on me when I was at Michigan State. He was thrilled when we won the championship in 1979. I was equally as thrilled for him when he won 2 championships in the NBA with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets. My basketball camps, which started in 1978, Earl was right there with us. He was sort of like a co-owner, if you will, because he was so passionate about the kids, and he was very integral to our success with the basketball camps that are still running now, 46 years later. We miss him dearly, and so much so that we're dedicating this summer of basketball camps to Earl Cureton. His number and his initials EC will be on the shirts, and we'll talk to the kids about Earl and remind them of his commitment to their development.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. We when he passed away, we honored him on the show. He did a lot for me over the years as well, getting me comfortable on the beat. So that's awesome to hear. Your basketball camps, you're looking to continue kind of this legacy of impacting kids in the community as well. Tell me about these basketball camps that are coming up.
It started for me in 77. I actually worked the Bob Lanier, Dick Vitale basketball camp at West Bloomfield High School that summer, and it was a tremendous camp. And I remember the thing I took away, we always tell the kids, take something away other than basketball. Take something away that maybe you did not have when you entered the building on Monday, you depart the building on Friday. And if it's only basketball that you can speak of, then somehow we've missed the boat. We can do far more than that. Well, I did that. I experienced that for myself, because when I went into that camp on Monday in 1977, I went in as a counselor, as a coach. And my responsibility was to the kids and to teach and instruct them on the fundamentals of basketball. But I walked out of there thinking, I can do this too. So I began to think in that direction, and the very next year I had my own basketball camp. And as I said, it's still here 46 years later. The thing that we try to do, but I'll say this, our camp has evolved a lot over the many years. It's truly not just basketball. We have all kinds of exercises and experiences at the camps, from classroom activity, where we encourage the kids to put the same energy that they utilize out on the court into becoming better basketball players, use that in the classroom to become better students, because ultimately your most success is going to be rooted in the foundation that you provide educationally for yourself. So we encourage that. We have, kids always love to see basketball players come in, so we have some of that. We never know who our special guests are going to be that stop by and talk to the kids. But we also have people from other walks of life. We've had lawyers, we've had doctors, we've had policemen, we've had folks. We got a mini medical camp where we have physicians come in and set up a table and exhibits and talk to the kids in case they might want to go into the medical field. A few years ago, when there was a lot of civil unrest and police were being portrayed as people to fear because of some of the things that were going on in the country, we had some policemen to come in and talk to the kids. Come in uniform. Let them see you. Let them feel you.
Real impact,
let them know that they're not to be feared. So we try to cover a lot of different areas with our boys and girls over the course of the week. And then, of course, we do teach a lot of basketball. We play a lot of basketball because our goal is to make sure that they grow that skill, which is why they're there. But
yeah,
it's important that we use that time for other things too.
That is amazing to hear. And what locations are your camps at this year, and where can people go to register to be a part of such an impactful event?
Our camps start on Monday coming up, July 15th. We will be at West Bloomfield High School. We've been there many years. It's a great facility, and they've always been very welcoming and supportive of our efforts. So West Bloomfield camp is next week. The following week, we will be at Southfield's University Academy High School, and simultaneously, the United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex in Pontiac will be there. So I'll be jumping back and forth. I'm at every camp every day. I want to have that impact. I want the kids to see and feel me. And if you want to register for these camps, you can do it simply by going to GregoryKelser.com. I always say not Greg, GregoryKelser.com/basketball. It'll take you right there, GregoryKelser.com/basketball. And boys and girls ages 7 to 17 are welcome. The camps run from 9 to 2:30 each day. We also have a specialty camp in Detroit that we do. That'll be next week as well, but that's full. That's a community service effort on our part to provide that opportunity for the boys and girls in the city. But, the legacy of our camps are that we love it when people come back and say, hey, I attended your camp many, many years ago, and I learned this, and you taught this, and you said this, and it changed my life. It changed my attitude about education and so on and so forth, and it was very valuable in my life. It's not uncommon for someone 60 years old to come up and say they went to the basketball camp, because after all, when I first started, I was only 20, and the kids in that camp were 15, 5 years younger than me.
Yeah,
I'm in my middle 60s now, so there it is.
Wow.
Mr. Kelser, it's amazing to hear about all the non-basketball life lessons and things you're teaching at these camps, using basketball as the vessel to get the kids there and teaching them. Do you feel that's more and more important these days, not just with how society is, but also with NIL and college athletes, there's more focus on the specialty athlete or on, plan A, plan B, and plan C is making it to the NBA or the major leagues or the NFL. This is actually teaching kids from 7 to 17 different life lessons. Is it becoming more important?
It's very important. We had a kid that attended our camp for 8 years, playing the NBA Finals that just ended. Jaden Hardy with the Dallas Mavericks attended our camp for 8 years. His father worked at the camp for over 20 years. We don't promise that we're going to make your child an NBA player, and we're not going to make your kid really anything. Your kid and your efforts at home as parents, that's what's going to push them and secure their successes. But what we like to do, we like to think that we play a little small part, because every experience has value. And we like to think that what we're able to provide enhances what you're hearing at home, what you're hearing in school. That's all geared towards your own development and helping you reach your best potential. So to your question, yes, it's essential, I think, because there are a lot of distractions out there. There are a lot of things pulling kids potentially in a bad direction. There has to be an effort to keep everybody on the right track. So that's what we try to emphasize, and also encourage the kids. As we said, most of them are not going to play professional basketball or a professional sport of any kind, but that doesn't mean that they can't find great success in whatever field they choose to pursue. That's really the message that we convey each and every day. And as you indicated, basketball is the lure. That's what brings kids to the gymnasium. They're not always happy to find that they may have to go into the classroom an hour, during each day, but they end up at the end of the week saying, that was a lot of fun. We didn't expect that.
That's awesome. It's introducing them to a path that they might not have known prior. And it's not just telling them what they could do, but showing them as well, kind of leading by example. I absolutely love that. And, aside from the camps, I know another way that you make a huge impact in many people's lives is what you do alongside George Blaha. And I want to get into some Detroit Pistons talk on the other side of the break. But before that, I just wanted you to be able to talk about your longtime TV partner, George Blaha.
And if broadcasting was a plan of yours before you made it to the NBA, when did that become a thought?
That's a good follow-up, yeah.
It's funny how things happen. We always say, get the most education that you possibly can, because on that journey, you're going to learn things that are going to be critical, regardless to, again, whatever field you go in, because of the perseverance and the determination and dedication that it takes to exceed in school and to get a degree, if that is to be the case. So I graduated with a social science degree in criminal justice. I was thinking about becoming an attorney. I never did that because I met someone in broadcasting during my senior year playing basketball at Michigan State during a press conference after one of our NCAA tournament games. I met someone who changed my life, who worked in broadcasting, became a friend and became a mentor as well, taught me the ropes, and I decided right then that I wanted to work in broadcasting. But it was my work and effort to become, to earn a degree at Michigan State that helped me with all the things that were going to be necessary to pursue the career in broadcasting that I, now enjoy, and I have enjoyed for over 40 years. You mentioned George Blaha. I met George when I was, and by the way, that gentleman, his name was Charlie Neal. Charlie Neal was a local sports anchor who lives in D.C. now, still works in the business, brought me to BET, which was my first broadcasting job. Wow. Yeah. BET. When he became sports director and I retired from the NBA, he brought me to BET, and that's where it all started. But I met George Blaha when I was 18 years old at Michigan State. He was doing Michigan State football. That's right. I never knew that I would work with him because he wasn't even doing NBA basketball when I first met him. He got the job a year later. He's been with the Pistons now for almost 50 years. George has also been very instrumental and helpful in my career because, as we know, he's an icon. He's a pro. He's very, very good at what he does, and I've learned a lot from him. And working beside him has been an honor and a pleasure. We're both very passionate about it, and I can see his level of preparation and all that goes into him providing a great broadcast, and I try to mimic that. I be remiss if I didn't mention Fred McLeod, the late Fred McLeod, who I worked with for 13 years. He said he had that same type of work ethic and that same kind of impression on me in terms of what it takes to enjoy longevity in this field, because, it can't have turnover. I find that those that work the hardest and that continue to try to get better and better and better are the ones that last the longest. So I've learned from some of the best in the business.
It's amazing to hear your journey, especially with the journey that we're all on. Now, I know everybody here is they try to be as prepared. That guy there, Flannel Sam, he definitely sets the bar.
Yeah.
He sets the bar here at the network. Very well prepared gentleman. But this is a lot of good stuff. The chat, they are really ecstatic and appreciative of the impact and the attention to what you do in the community. So I'm glad that is something that's resonating just beyond the sports of it all. But I know we got to talk about the Detroit Pistons. We're going to go to break, and then we get back. We got to talk to the legend, GREG KELSER, about the Detroit Pistons, man. But first, let me tell you about Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees. All you got to do is call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number, 313-530-1698. Again, that number, 313-530-1698. Visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Did somebody say merge?
Wait, whoa, wait.
What?
Wait a second. Where's the Detroit sign shirt?
No, we had to get rid of that. We had to get rid of that off of here. Look, do yourself a favor. Go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but we had to get rid of that Welcome to Detroit sign shirt to put up the hashtag Boodum Kids. That's out right now that you can go and pick up at woodwardsports.com. We also got Stoke Not Scared and the Woodward Detroit Tigers as well, too. They're making a turnaround, so you need gear to support the team right now. Head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. Hey, training camp is almost here.
Hey, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off today with the Wake Up Woodward crew. As the legend GREG KELSER also
You keep calling me legend. I'm going to go home and tell my wife.
You are the legend, bro.
I'm going to go home and tell her I'm a legend and see what she says.
You know what? No, I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to try that at all. I know my wife loves me, but she ain't going to lie to me.
Right.
So, but thank you guys, chat family, for being engaging, for staying tapped in, and as I always say, being on one word to Eduardo O'Neal. Go on ahead and smash that like button for the Woo crew and for GREG KELSER. Let's jump back into the scene.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Like I said, hearing about your connection with Earl Curitan, George Blaha, everything that you want to do as it relates to the camps and your journey in media. It's been an awesome thing to hear so far. And we got to jump into Detroit Pistons conversation as well. You've seen a lot of Detroit Pistons basketball, and I think one of the things I like a lot about you as an analyst is you don't mince your words. You're very, very real, and you get right to the truth of the matter with the Detroit Pistons. And obviously, the last couple years have not been good. I just wanted your kind of quick take on what they were and kind of what you're seeing in this transition to Trajan Langdon.
I think last year was truly a very, very tough experience for everybody that was involved in it. Not just the players on the floor and the coaches, we as broadcasters, but just everybody in the building, everybody affiliated. It was a tough year because no one saw that coming. The year began with a lot of enthusiasm, expectations. We thought that, with Monty Williams coming in as new coach, a few new players, that they would begin to make a path towards play-in or playoff contention. Yeah. And then the season started wonderfully. I remember after the first 3 games, hopes were incredibly high.
Yeah.
After they go down to Miami and nearly beat the Heat in a great game, and then go to Charlotte and went on the road and come back home and beat the Bulls in their opener. They're 2-1. They were they seemed to be doing it with defense first.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the bottom just fell out. We lost to Portland. I think we lost to maybe OKC or something, and we were on our way to a 28-game losing streak. Who could have ever have envisioned that? It still seems, unreal to even say that, 28-game losing streak.
For the Pistons, man.
Yeah. So it started very difficult, and then we started losing players, and we just couldn't keep a firm lineup in there steady, and it got even worse. And when the season ended, just 14 wins, truly, truly disappointing for everybody. But I say that, I like to say that, through adversity, and that was great adversity, you grow, you learn, you become better. And I got to believe for the players that experienced that were a part of that, it's going to be a motivating force or factor for them moving forward, because you don't ever want to have that happen again. It's not who you are. You didn't get to this point by being a failure. So I would think that the energy and the focus to get to the season and get it going as soon as possible has to be foremost in everybody's minds. You want to clean that up. It's like in golf. You have a bad hole. You can't wait to get to the next hole because you want to try and erase that. Well, that's what these guys are, living with right now. It's a long summer or a long off season when you have a season like this and you're not in the playoffs. You got 6 months to marinate on this. So everybody should be working hard to get better and come into camp healthy and ready to get it going. I still believe in this team, and after what we saw yesterday and what's happening right now with the new leadership, I'm encouraged. I left the building, and you're right. You hear that same thing all the time. Every time there's a press conference introducing a new coach or a new GM or a new president, it's usually always the same expressions. But there was something that felt a little different because maybe of the stoicism that we saw in the faces of the gentlemen that were on the podium. Making no promises, acknowledging that there's a lot of work to be done. But they seem to have a clear path and view and plan for making it happen, and hopefully sooner than later. So, listening to J.B. Bickerstaff and, of course, Trajan Langdon yesterday, I left there thinking, okay, let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Hey, Mr. Kelser, not to focus on the losing too much, but I just have sort of one final question. How thin is that line where a young team, young players, the line between being deflated or feeling defeated versus using that losing as motivation? I know when you were drafted to the Pistons, it wasn't like Dick Vitale was the coach, if I remember correctly. It's not like it was the most winning environment at that time. It took a little bit of time. How does this young team toe that line of being defeated versus using it as motivation to never happen again?
Well, I speak to you from experience. I had the same thing happen to me. Coming off a national championship at Michigan State, I'm drafted by the Pistons, who were in a rebuild, and we only won 16 games. And I can tell you, when you lose that many games, I could easily go back and find you 10 wins for the Pistons this past season, because there were at least 10 games that they could have, should have won.
That's facts.
And it was the same thing with us back in '79. We were a young team. We had 5 rookies on the team. We had 2 more players that were in their second year. So we weren't going anywhere in a 23-team league. You weren't going to win with youth like that, and we knew it, but we worked hard. We gave it the best we could, and we tried to stay together. This team this year did stay together. They still pulled for each other. There was no dissension or cracking or splintering or anything or finger pointing, anything like that. That's good. That speaks to the leadership that was there that kept that intact, because when you're losing, it can easily fragment. Most of the time, it does. But the line you speak of, is a very fine line. So fine that if you go back 2-3 years, we had a game in Oklahoma City late in the season. Oklahoma had a bunch of guys out there you'd never heard of. They were trying to map out their future and what they were going to do. And the Pistons were pretty much in the same boat. I mean, I really had to have a big roster in front of me to know who these players were, because many of them on the Oklahoma City side I had not heard of. Oklahoma City has the best record in the Western Conference last year. 2-3 years later, okay? So that's how fine that line is, and that's why you have hope that, it doesn't have to stay this way for very long if you're a Pistons fan. You make the right decisions, you catch some luck, you get some good health, you make a couple of good drafts and that sort of things. Things can turn around in basketball maybe much quicker than they can in some of the other sports.
Yeah, and speaking of that fine line, you mentioned there were about 10 games where the Pistons maybe let it slip away. Some of their problems with their youth or coaching or whatnot maybe cost them some wins. Do you believe the Pistons brought in the right players, the right coach, the right president of basketball associations to help get those 10 wins, plus maybe some more?
I certainly hope so, and yes, I do think so. There's one loss that stands out in my mind and still bothers me, because it happened right at midcourt in front of George and myself in New York late in the season. There was a foul that occurred right there as DiVincenzo just ramrodded Asar Thompson off of a loose ball. Pistons had a lead. It was in the waning seconds of the game. It was a clear foul. The NBA admitted it afterwards, but that played to the respect that you don't get when you're a struggling basketball team. Asar Thompson was blown up football style, off the ball, no call. New York gets the basketball and then scores and gets an and one at the bucket with under 10 seconds to go to win that basketball game. That should not have happened. Now, that was on the officials in my mind, but there were plenty other things that the Pistons themselves were responsible for, whether it was not getting a key rebound, maybe missing a free throw or, a shot that they would normally make that could have spelled the difference between winning and losing, missing a defensive assignment, whatever. I know they lost 2 games, I believe, on tap-ins, where if they could have got a rebound, tap-ins at the buzzer. So, again, easily could go back and find your 10 wins. But, yeah, the people coming in, I like what they're doing. They're mixing really good, solid veterans with the youth that they have, and the veterans can still play. They still got a lot of juice left. They can perform on the court. But additionally, these guys that they're bringing in are used to playing, not missing games. That's a good lesson for the young guys to see and be around and experience. These guys going out there, regardless of whether they are nicked up a little bit, they go out, they play, they perform, they're professional. That's what you want your young players to see on a day in, day out basis in the practice facility, how they gear themselves up, how they prepare to get ready, how they come with the right attitude. So that's why you try and mix veterans with the young players, and you hope that it mixes and meshes the way it's supposed to. Houston's doing that very thing right now, and they're having success with it.
They are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Greg, thanks again for joining us today, man. Cade Cunningham just signed his rookie max, 5 years, $224 million. And last year, you can just see the toll that the season took on this kid, man, with all the losing and everything going on. But even through all of that, he still stuck through it the best he could at the podium and things of that nature. Now, Trajan wants to build this the right way, and I'm in total agreement to that. But on the same token, you never want to tell a Detroit fan to be patient, So while Trajan wants to not cut corners and build this thing the right way, I do feel like there needs to be some kind of urgency to not, let the losing continue too long, because you have a star like Cade Cunningham now on a rookie max contract that could ask out, before the contract is over. Where do you feel the balance needs to be between trying to accelerate this process, but also taking your time and doing it the right way?
It's a delicate blend, but you have to, I think you have to understand that where patience is required, you can't resist it. You gotta go with it. Now, if something materializes that can help you accelerate, but not derail the progress, then you make that decision at that time.
Yeah.
I like the approach. I like the fact that they're not promising playoffs next year. They don't have to get to the playoffs for the season to be a tremendous success.
Yeah.
But we want to see that progress.
Yeah.
You know, think about the Lions and what they did year before last.
Yeah.
You know, they started off miserably.
They did.
And then they got it going. And then people got a little bit more excited about it. And they finished that season beautifully a couple of years ago. I remember they won that game in Green Bay, kept them out of the playoffs, and won in a place that's very tough for the Lions to win over the decades. And then they were able to parlay that into what happened last year. Same thing with the Pistons. There's no magic elixir that you can sprinkle over everybody and have it and guarantee that it will change. But here's the thing I find. When you start to get a few wins, when you start to experience a little success, now you start to expect those wins. And even in the most dire situations, you start to believe that we're gonna achieve. You know, we're gonna be okay. It's the same thing with losing. When you lose a few games and then people get hurt and then the bottom starts to become a little shaky, you almost expect something bad to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can happen. I think it can happen fast, but you have to be smart, and leadership has to be very, very wise in knowing when to accelerate and maybe when to pump the brake just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the responsibility that Trajan Langdon and his staff now has. And as far as Cade Cunningham, I'm very happy they signed him. I think he's an absolute beast. I think he's a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, he demonstrated that when he played, especially late in the season, and they were going nowhere. But when he was out on the floor, man, he was fun to watch because he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And the things that he's able to do with the ball in his hands in the mid-range, nobody can guard him. The one thing I say he has to improve on his ball care because he's going to draw double teams. He's got to be able to pass out of those double teams without the ball being deflected or stolen. I'd like to see him get maybe a few more rebounds, but he can pass the basketball. He can score it. And on nights when his three-point shot is going, then 30 points is pretty much guaranteed.
Nice.
I love to hear that. And you know what, Greg? We got one more question. We got our Sparty in the house, JB Smooth.
Go
What
green,
up, though,
JB.
Mr. Kelser, thank you so much once again, as KG said, for joining us here today. And let me tell you right now, it's just an uphill battle because I'm the only Spartan on this show.
Damn.
That makes you unique.
I know, right? So every single day, you don't understand how much of an uphill battle it is. But I want to take you back for a moment and just show you a picture of not only yourself, but you and Magic Johnson back in 1979 at MSU. And my question to you is, are you still in connection with Magic Johnson? Do you all still talk? Have you seen him lately? What's new with Magic Johnson?
It's probably been maybe a year since I last saw Urban. And yes, we are still very much in contact. All my teammates, we're very close. We experienced something that is rare and unique, and it bonded us for life. So, I might talk to Jay Vincent one day. I might talk to Terry Donnelly another day. I might talk to Urban. I might talk to Ron Charles. We were all very close. And that picture that you just showed was taken at the Brody complex on the basketball court. We had just gotten brand new Mercedes.
Really?
Okay, Greg.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Stun on them.
Yeah, we had just bought brand new 1979 Mercedes 450 SELs. Woo. Mine was a beautiful shade of red, and his was a powder blue. And we were very happy, proud, and so we decided, a photographer got with us, and we rode around campus taking pictures. We took pictures in front of Jennison Fieldhouse. We took pictures on the basketball court. And we didn't know that those pictures were going to be in pretty much every national publication the next day. They were in newspapers all across the country. with the heading, this is what NBA stardom or basketball, a great future in basketball can provide. And believe it or not, I still have mine. I still have my car, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 45 years. It looks just like it does on that picture, and it runs beautifully.
That is awesome. This has been awesome, man.
That's
to have you on and kind of hear about the man behind just the basketball. This has been.
If I had known
awesome
you were going to show that
brother.
picture, I would have driven it and put it right out front.
Wow, we have to set something up.
We might
like
have to
that.
come back and
we got to do
Right.
a round two. We got to do a round two. We'll definitely come by and check out the camps as well. And it was cool to hear about you and Magic. I know you expounded on that at St. Cecilia when they were doing their kind of rededication to the renovation of the gym in that area. It was just cool to hear all the different legends, including you and Magic, all of the different relationships that started right in Detroit.
Yeah,
it was an awesome story to hear.
Yeah, I met Irvin on the steps of St. Cecilia.
Yeah.
We met each other for the very first time, shook hands right there on the steps. I was a senior in high school. He was a sophomore. We met, we greeted each other. I knew who he was. He knew who I was. One of the things that Michigan State said to me when they were recruiting me was that our goal is to sign you in 1975, sign Irvin Johnson in 1979, and we believe that if we're able to do that, you guys will win a national championship before you leave.
Ooh.
And it happened.
Wait. So they knew. They called the shots with Special K,
Yeah.
Magic Johnson. They knew that was the formula, and it worked out.
It did work out. I mean, it's easier said than done, but Urban was right there in Lansing, so they were well aware of him as a high schooler. If this were today, Urban wouldn't play high school basketball. He'd go straight to the pros because he could have done it then. He was that good.
Wow. Can I take in one last Pistons question related to your time at Michigan State, too? Because you were, if I'm not mistaken, the first Big Ten player ever with 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds as a forward. I want to ask about Jalen Duren. What advice would you give, or what's the next step in his game? He's so young, but there's so much potential. He does have a tall, playmaking guard to get him the rock. Well, from your experience, what would you say to Jalen Duren, or what is that next step?
I would encourage him to watch as much film as he can of Miami's Bam Adebayo because they are similar.
We just said this yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I love this.
We did. That's
I love
crazy.
Their bodies are similar.
Let's go.
Their skills are similar. Both have great jumping ability, big hands. Excuse me.
God bless you. Healthiness.
Hay fever in here? No, I think that the sky really is the limit for Jalen Duren because he's gifted, he's athletic. He doesn't ever have to be a three-point shooter because Bam isn't. I think Bam maybe made 5 or 6 three-pointers last year. One of them took the Pistons down.
We were there.
Yeah,
we were in the building.
That was the 04 night.
That's what I'm talking about. See, stuff like crazy stuff like that.
He could have held the ball till the end of the game for the last shot.
He took the shot too early. Yeah,
he did.
There you go.
Learning lessons.
Yeah, learning lessons. So I think that Duren can do the same thing. I think he can be a great rim protector. He does have to maybe improve his footwork around the basket, understanding what is a good shot, what is not. Continue to work on the offensive glass, and he could be an all-star in this league. He's young. He's only like 20. So I think it all will depend on how hard he's willing to work, study, and put the time in to make himself one of the best players in the league.
Let's go. I like this, man.
So great.
Community impact, hope for our Detroit Pistons, and just being able to talk to an absolute legend. I'm going to keep saying that. And GREG KELSER. We're going to hold you to it now. We got to have you back for a round 2. And next time you got to bring that Mercedes.
I will.
Yes.
It's got to be in the spring, summer, or fall though. It sees no wind. It sees no snow.
Let's go.
Doing it
Let's
right.
go. He already
Doing
knows.
it right.
That's how you know that he is from Detroit. I love it. Thank you for your time, GREG.
Thank you, guys.
This has been awesome.
I've enjoyed it.
Hey, chat family, definitely smash those like buttons. Put whatever emoji you can to support GREG KELSER giving us his time this morning. Also, make sure you guys stay tapped in with the basketball camps as well. I have that email address as well, or the website to sign up, GregoryKelser.com/basketball.
Gregory Kelser.
Gregory Kelser. Yes. Can't wait, man. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time and the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh man, yo, this has been an awesome. I don't even know what we're supposed to do right now.
Let's just cut the commercial. We'll double up. We'll double up on the way back.
I got you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants,
kids. With your Premier Pet Supply, man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Thank you guys for staying tapped in with Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Woo Crew appreciate you guys greatly. As always, smash that like button. But after us, you better be staying tapped in with all of Woodward Sports, starting with Big D Energy from 11 to 1. 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty alongside the Golden Voice Neil Rule. After that, you got Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4. The lovable radio legend Tom Mazaway, University of Michigan legend, and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards, and Detroit Media King Fox 2 Ryan Ermanni. And after that, you got the big fellas of Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7. Spin more racks, speak easy, baby. Always supporting the Woo Crew. We appreciate you guys. Nick Koloff, Chris Platty in the booth. The biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, the biggest laughs. That's the Woodward Heavyweights. And as always, we appreciate you guys for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports outlet.
And I certainly hope when you watch the shows, you were inspired to buy a car from Les Stanford, of course, because Les Stanford Chevrolet, they've got location in Ferndale on Woodward, they got a location in Dearborn. It's a place you need to go for all of your Buick, GMC, Cadillac, or Chevrolet needs. LesStanford.com, Les Stanford Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down the legendary, the historic Woodward Avenue. I'm still fired up, man. Just had GREG KELSER in here. We had a national champion, a former NBA player, current NBA analyst, right here in the studio, and he broke it all down from community impact, who he is as a person, his connections with some legendary people, how he got into broadcasting, talked about some legends like George Blaha. Listen, if you missed it, make sure you go back and tap in. And he gave us his breakdown on this current Detroit Pistons team and where they're headed. It's a lot of hope, a lot of optimism. And I feel him. And he was right. He said, you know what? We've heard a lot of this stuff before, but something felt a little bit different with JB Bickerstaff.
Absolutely. A lot of hope, a lot of optimism, a lot of real analysis, because when it comes to the Detroit Pistons, when it comes to their future, when it comes to where they've been, the dark depths of where they've been the last few years, who would you want to hear about it more from than GREG KELSER, who is as connected as can be, is there every single game.
In the trenches.
was a former NBA player, former Michigan State national champion, top 5 overall pick, just a basketball legend, a basketball and a broadcasting legend. Very rarely do you get to be legends in 2 fields. And Greg Kelser, hey, it was an honor, a true honor.
Yes. Straight up an honor, man. Just real quick, man. Hey, what'd you think, Greg Kelser, KJ?
Hey, man, come on. You know how I felt, man. I got to talk to him on E&E Tuesday, but it was so much better having him in studio, man, actually, getting the chance to reach out and touch him, pause. But
yeah, whoa.
Yeah, man. But no, it was dope, man. He provided great conversation. I'm really excited about the camps that he has going and what he's doing with the youth. And, just his thoughts on the current state of the Pistons as well. He's been through some tough years, especially these last few. So it was good to get his insight.
It was great. I know we got you some Sparty flavor on here, JV Smooth. This was for you, man.
Hey, I'm over here smiling ear for ear. We got Special K in the studio. Like, come on. What more could you ask for? This man has seen so much basketball, and just to know that he's giving back with all these camps that he has going on, especially knowing that, hey, if you come to this camp and if all you learned was basketball, then we've done our job wrong. We wanted to teach you more than just the game of basketball. So, this is an honor.
It was an honor, and I got to throw it over to Mr. Matthew Broder as well, man. It was great questions from everybody all around, but Broder, what was your impression?
It was like the connections, when you think about the connections of his game, his team at Michigan State, I didn't want to make the connection between Magic Johnson and Cade Cunningham yet. But when you talk about like a playmaking guard who came in and although Greg Kelser's numbers dipped, he talks in several interviews about just becoming a better player once Magic got there. The things that a guard like that can do for a big man, to feel the connections between that, Jalen Duren, and the NBA, what this team, how this team can build an identity is really interesting to me. And like you said, he's been around the Pistons since he got drafted, but then covering them as a broadcaster for 40 years. Like, if anyone knows about this team, it's him. It's him. And JB, I didn't know. I saw another picture in Slack. Was this an autograph that you own of his?
No, so it's not an autograph I own. I was searching my card collection so hard last night trying to find a picture or a card just to bring in, but I don't think I have one of him. So I just had to rip one off of the internet from somewhere. But I wish I did.
As a crew, we're gonna have to just get one for the show.
Yeah.
Every special guest that we get that we know is some legend in some capacity. Find a way to get their card.
Late 70s, early 80s. It was a dead time in the hobby, the sports card collecting world.
I do have Aaron Glenn, though.
Aaron Glenn?
Yeah.
On the Saints or the Jets?
I think the Saints, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Right.
Stud. It was just awesome having him in.
Absolutely awesome. Epic. Appreciate Greg for giving us his time. And I know we had a couple more things on here. We're probably going to push those segments to tomorrow, but did you want to at least kind of tease the all 4 3-on-3 teams, or do we just want to get in
No, let's either, and I know we have like 1 minute till let's turn with JB Smooth. I think we should let Justin go off. He witnessed a crime yesterday at Comerica Prague.
Right. Yep.
We should talk about that, and maybe at the end, if there's time. I want to hear what Flannel said about JMO again yesterday. There were some words out of nowhere.
Yeah. Let's do it. We'll kick off mailbag segment with that.
Perfect.
It's perfect. All right, Justin, what's trending? Flannel and Broder, and then mailbag.
Yeah, just come over here for a hot second, Justin. Come on.
Let's go. And while you're at it, make sure you guys go and check out Soroki's Fire Chicken, Fire Pizza, man.
Crispy biscuits.
Let's go.
Get active. Well, first of all, hello, Woo Crew. It is a pleasure to see you today. My first
Justin.
screen time of the day.
Jersey, I'm sure you're going to probably tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it's actually about my jersey because I'm wearing my Riley Green jersey. Shout out. He's the GOAT. And my All-Star hat, which if you have not seen it, it is fire. But you know what's not fire? The Detroit Tigers only having Tarek Skubal All-Star jerseys. They had no Riley Green jerseys. I went to 3 different stores in the stadium trying to get myself All-Star jersey because I love Riley Green, and there was only Skubal jerseys. I went to 3 different stores. They had multiple racks of them, just Skubal. And that's just ridiculous.
No. Everybody was surprised, bro. Tigers were surprised by Riley Green becoming an All-Star. You know what? They would have been there if Flannel Sam was in that front office. We need to make front office.
Factual.
You called this. You called this. They would have made sure they had those jerseys prepped just like they did with Skubal.
I mean, maybe I am a sick individual who thinks a little bit too more higher of himself than some, but if anybody needs like a Peter Brand like figure in their MLB front office, give me a call. Because I've developed almost an obsession with moneyballing teams. I literally do this stuff for fun. Do like theoretical things for fun. That's why front office flannel is a good thing. But to get back to your point, I don't want to look. You know what? I have become a Riley Green slappy for sure. I don't want to look too much into this because it's a Detroit Tigers store. There's no way that they would deliberately disrespect their player. That doesn't bother me as much as what I heard from Terry Foster on Monday, what I heard from Stick. That's the type of stuff that just like sets me off. So
the fuck I just told you.
Is it just? It's just how good. It just shows how good Tarek Skubal was so early. They got to print him nice and early.
Yes. Oh yes.
I missed something.
You know what I love about Riley Green too? It's like there's a lot of players where the numbers, the analytics, the metrics, they all matter. And for Riley Green, they do too. But that's the player that when you look at Flannel Sam, everything that I know about him, it goes out the window for Riley Green because he has
it
that.
does.
I know, and I love it. Not that, and he's proven your faith in him correct.
Yes.
But I love it, man. Like Flannel starts smiling and glowing, and he looks like an absolute fanboy when it's Riley Green. And it's like, finally, he knows what I feel like when I talk about Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys both, with Cade Cunningham and you with Riley Green, it's like the scene in Wolf of Wall Street when Margot Robbie walks in and you guys both are smiling ear to ear. Oh, boy.
No, I was actually doing this thought exercise last night because everybody also knows that I am the biggest Aiden Hutchinson slappy, probably in Detroit.
That one, too. That's
My
number
love
one.
for Riley Green is approaching my love for Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, here's another one that will probably blow your mind. The Tigers are the worst team in the MLB that has arguably 2 top 15 AL MVP candidates.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. 100%. Top 15.
Riley Green is top 11 in OPS, which would get him close to the nod. And then obviously Skubal is a top 5.
They're supposed
top
to be
3.
firmly in the wild card race. Hearing GREG KELSER talk about the games that the Pistons dropped, that you can go and just scoop up 10. You could definitely do that for the Tigers right now.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
Wild.
Can't make that up.
JB Smooth. Do we need to actually go to break?
We do have to pay some bills, so we might want to take like a quick break.
Let's do that.
I can't hear, so I hope you guys can hear what he's saying.
Quick break. Where we got to go?
Break.
Dispo.
Hey, Dispo.
It's been a high show.
Get higher than Flannel and Riley Green.
Hey. And just for the record, Kool-Aid, one of the reasons I love him so much is because the analytics and numbers actually rewarded my faith. But you know what else rewards people's faith? Probably in this room, more particularly this crew over here. This summer, Dispo Dispensary is turning up the heat with amazing giveaways and exclusive offers. Enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey and helmet from your favorite sports team. Screenshot this image with the QR code, bring it into one of their locations to get scanned, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store. This will automatically qualify you for the giveaway. Dispo Dispensary, visit today, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you could round off our foursome at woodwardsports.com or scan the code on the screen right there.
Nasty.
It's a golf foursome, people. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Bizzle.
Let's rock.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Cook up.
What's going on? Hey, I don't know if you guys have seen a Key and Peele sketch.
Which one?
About the handshakes.
Oh, yeah.
Going back and forth between, black and white people. But apparently this happened the other day with Obama and the Team USA. So tell me what you guys think. I don't think Broder's seen this yet.
I've seen it. I don't think Flannel's seen it. It's epic.
So
I'll let you guys react.
Dap up LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Dap up AD here.
Yep. And
just
regular handshake.
Spolstra gives him a little one.
How you doing?
How
you doing?
Nice to
Very
meet you.
professional.
Nice to meet
Steve
you.
Kerr.
Nice to meet you. Oh. All right, let's get it going.
I want Flannel's reaction.
Now I'm curious as to what is Coach Spolstra's like. What is his heritage?
He dapped up Brian. He gave him the hard dap. I ain't seen you in a minute. That.
Do you know
like my homie?
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Is anybody in this room a fan of the TV show New Girl?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
There was that scene where the character of Winston was starting off at the police academy when he was having trouble making
Winnie
friends.
the Bish.
Yes, and there's that scene in the locker room where guys are dapping up everybody but Winston, like, "Hey, what's up, shooter? Gunner? Hey, Winston Bishop, how you doing?"
Right.
Like, it's just, that's kind of what that is.
I love it.
That's what that reminds me of. That's
love that
instantly
one.
what I thought of.
Oh man.
Next.
Man, that was crazy though. So I got something else for you over here. Oh, this is why you should never go to any trampoline park if you're an older adult. But that's just me.
What?
Dunk on him, Dad.
Oh!
Man, he's a genius.
Did he headbutt the rim?
Why were you jumping that far under
ate the rim.
Like,
I love
you
that.
deserve that, my guy.
I've hit my
on.
head on a lot of low ceilings.
Hold on, look at the kids. Look at the kids' reaction, dog.
You know he bust his shit open.
Yo, that gotta be their dad because they really tried to keep their reactions measured.
The sound they made, though.
God,
It's like he got hit with a steel chair wrestling.
Ooh.
Dunk on him, Dad. Dunk on him.
You know, it do sound like the steel chair, dog.
You deserve it, man. Why is you jumping that far under the rim, man?
Hold on, one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that shit. Listen to the
I'm
sound.
trying to understand the physics. Like, what was he
Listen to the
trying to
sound,
do?
bro.
Physics behind it.
All he was trying to do
Hold on,
was smack his face.
Listen.
Stone Cold.
That smack sound. Crack.
Dog. I just don't know what he was trying to do. Like, was he going to tap out on the backboard? Like, the ball was nowhere near being
Right.
dunked, bro.
Somebody come get your pops, man. Somebody come get that, man.
Kid Kool-Aid.
It's so
If I'm
terrible.
ever out there doing that, Kid Kool-Aid, snatch me off immediately.
I think you
Please.
smart enough to
you're
not
gonna be
jump
out there
under the
doing
rim
that.
on a trampoline.
Don't let me
though.
ever look like that. Oh, my God.
You know you're going to be out there doing that damn well. But are you going to be doing this? Because Kool-Aid, I need some explanation on this. Have you ever had a real life 2K glitch happen to you?
Let's see.
Oh,
What?
What?
that's crazy.
I've gotten beat on plays like this, man.
No way.
In 2K. It looked like he's at the Academy Award. Real
It kind
talk.
of does look at Academy Award, but
Oh, my
He
God.
practices that.
No,
like-
he just
He
got
has
done
to.
a session with Fred Vincent. You know,
Fred
Let's
Vincent
go.
doing that, I need to hire him immediately,
the
man.
lethal shooter.
I can get into the NBA right now. That's crazy.
I mean, can we add him to the Pistons shooting and development team?
Did he do that left-handed too?
yeah. I think so.
Southpaw?
Jesus, man.
That's insane, though,
Just
man.
how?
Nuts, bro.
Only
trick
James
shots.
Wiseman can shoot like that.
Yeah, he's practicing that.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad comparison, actually.
I don't even know how
Informed.
that's even
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
But finally,
I
I'll
don't
end
know how
it
it's
with
possible.
this. I'll end it with this because I'm about to have one of those. I was today years old when I figured this out, and Justin already knows this. Shout out to our man Dante151 for sending this over. But
Shout out.
the Detroit Red Wings logo actually has wings on it. I did not put two and two together. But there's the front wing and
You
then
didn't
the
know?
back wing. No, I was today years old when I was like, oh, I just thought it was like all together as one, like the wing wheel.
Huh.
I don't know.
I was
I
today
kinda-
years old when I figured this out.
Yeah.
But shout out to Dante151 for that one.
on this network that knew that before Dante pointed it out.
No, honestly, it's just nothing. Something I never thought about.
Yeah.
But
Somebody has to
cool.
ask D-Mac. Like, I just want to see his first reaction.
He
Just,
probably
yeah.
knows.
D-Mac, how many
He
wings?
has, like, he has to know, right?
How many wings are in the Red Wings logo?
Yeah. I think that'd be a cool question.
Yeah, I hope he knows.
That logo though is just like
it's fire.
It's one of the best logos ever made.
Detroit sports has some of the best logos
100%
of all time.
100%.
Two top tens.
The Red Wings logo have already crossed over into just like legendary status, Hollywood, entertainment, hip hop, pop culture.
That and that
Detroit.
English D on your head,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
What on your head?
Certain someone on the show might be representing it.
All right. Before I go, I gotta play this for you because the people asked for it. Broder, this is just for you, I guess. Sorry.
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit on it. Hawk too and spit on it.
Was that new?
Yes.
What did I miss? I'm confused.
Okay.
Well, because the people were asking for it in the chat. Was it Lizzie from Canton?
Oh,
you got Fish Girl or Hawk 2? So I had to add that in for you.
My breakfast date yesterday.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's a new entry as well. Some new girl that I saw pop up on the X space, and she literally spit on somebody.
No, I don't want anything to do with her.
She literally hot to it on somebody.
Yeah, her name's probably Karen.
Yeah.
She probably is going after Jason Kelsey's wife. I don't like her. Worse than Fish Girl. Canceled. Sorry.
Oh,
That's ever was trending.
Oh man, yo, great what's trending today, JB. Smooth, that's 4 O's 1 V. Always cooking up with what's trending. Do we have any more bills to pay? Do we go to break or we just do the reads now and we'll get into mailbag?
Let's do the reads now and then just hop into mailbag. So let's hit them with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes. No, 100%. Absolutely. You want to talk about organizations that you want your children to be a part of. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan at Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
And let me tell you guys about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, because they are known for their quality hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwich, and the New York style pizza. And you can't forget about the Nashville hot pizza that we got up on screen right there. But locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. They're actually doubling the number of restaurants this year alone. And don't forget, they just had their grand opening at Madison Heights as well too. So be sure to stop in and check out one of their mega stations near you. And you can always check them out online at Sorokis.com. And Flannel, why don't you tell them about Mark White?
Oh, Mark White, of course. And if you remember the old Mark White commercial, that man has got some hops. 100%. All natural, by the way. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And you know what?
What?
We got one more because it's time for our Feldman Automotive mailbag segment.
Hey, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. Call the Feldman Advantage. We were there yesterday along with Big D Energy. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
All right, now it is time for the Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. And while you're looking for some of those questions, Broder, the chat, man, is awesome. Freddie felt this country is doomed. We were looking at Hawk to a girl, and I was talking about the new girl that's literally spitting on people, got on her knees and spit on somebody.
Oh, wow. On her knees, though. Okay.
Yeah, LGRW Sparty said, that's gross, Kool-Aid. What's her at?
That's gross. What's her at?
Right.
Oh, snap. And then, hey, you know what? Ryan's reaction mailbag. How was your date with Lizzie yesterday?
Fantastic.
For you.
Yeah, I told her I was Jose Canseco, and she said, I'm Lizzie McGuire, and we had ourselves a bashing breakfast.
My name is Lizzie. I'm from Canton.
Hey.
Why did it sound like cover names? Why did it sound like cover names for an affair? Like, oh, yeah, I'm Lizzie McGuire. Oh, I'm Jose Canseco.
He has nice teeth. I needed a dentist recommendation.
And you know what? Get those mailbag questions in. But I also know what's that? One named Jamison Williams, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Flannel.
We want to start with that? What?
We can.
We got some mailbag. Let's honor mailbag.
Yep,
we'll do that.
If we run out of questions, we'll get to that because I gotta let. There's a process. I want him. I gotta let him revisit it first so I can use it against him.
That's right.
Dante151. Thoughts on Rich Eisen having Gibbs at number 2 in running backs in the NFL? Who wants it?
I love it personally. I love it, but Flannel.
But it's wrong.
Take it away, brother.
No, I mean, that's a little high for now, but at the same time, I've preached that I think he has the potential to be the best running back in the NFL. Maybe not this year, but once Christian McCaffrey's taken on a lot of attrition, hopefully he can stay in the league and be healthy for a while, just not beating the Lions in the NFC Championship. But other than that, I like watching him play, but Gibbs, guys like Bijan, guys like Breece Hall, they're next. They're the ones, Kyron Williams, those are the guys that are going to be fighting for the top spot, coming at the king when Christian McCaffrey sort of falls off, and Gibbs is as capable as any one of them of doing so.
Yes, just a fan mailbag. How many wins will the Pistons have this season, and who is their starting lineup?
I won't
hold you to it.
I want to hope that this team can get the over. Get the 27 wins. The over by Vegas, I think the first few lines were 26.5 wins. I had said earlier, get to 22, 23, but let's get to that 27 wins. And if all goes right, if all goes well, it's not my prediction.
Yeah.
Push for the 30. Set some type of goals, and like we always say, it's still not good basketball. 30 wins, 27 wins, but it shows progress, and I want to see them play to the level that they are saying that they want to play.
Love it.
I will say floor 28. For me, anything short of 28, unless there's like a rash of injuries, is a disappointment.
Yeah.
And I'd say their ceiling is something like 32. Not a huge range, but just look like a real basketball team. And as GREG KELSER said, win some of those games that you might have slipped away, gave away last year due to youth, refs, coaching, whatever.
I say 30. If we're predicting the starting 5, I got Cade at the 1, Beasley at the 2, Fontecchio at the 3, Tobias at the 4, and Duran at the 5.
I like that.
I'm still going Ivy for right now in the starting lineup.
Really?
There were things that I heard from JB Bickerstaff that leads me to believe that they may start together, might not play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, they might
to
stagger.
start together and then stagger from that. And then because when he brought up the comparisons to what he had in Cleveland, he talked about them starting the game together, being staggered, and then closing the games together as well. So I could see that being something that happens here. Yeah. But obviously, if you want to get as much shooting around Cade Cunningham as possible, you got to go with one of these newer additions we just brought in.
Factual. Yashawn Judah, mailbag. With teams like the Nets, Hawks, and Bulls on the decline, do you think Detroit could realistically contend for a play-in spot? The Pistons.
I think it's possible. I'm so tired of, at least at this point, it's different when you're a fan versus when we're sitting up here on these desks and covering it and such. You learn to be a little bit more measured with your expectations and what you think a team can do. I believe that they have the recipe, the ingredients, but it's about what they do on the floor to kind of prove it.
Love it. Freddie Felt 313 mailbag. I'm watching the NFC Championship back on the Receiver documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
He asks, is every single game a statement game next year? He thinks it is. We run the North, and we are running it back to the Super Bowl. Roar.
Every game a statement game?
Every game a statement game. They have something to prove every week.
I don't think they have something to prove. At this point, it's just about the results. Get to the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl any way you can. I don't really care how the games look. Yes, we're going to be stressed out some weeks, but ultimately, as long as they get into the playoffs, hopefully get the number 1 seed, and get to the NFC Championship game and give each all in that, I'm happy.
How about this? Do you think this is from Matthew Kruger, who has a better chance of breaking Jamal Williams' touchdown record, Monty or Gibbs? David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs?
I would say Monty, because they're going to use him like majority in those goal line sets, just like they did with Jamal Williams. So I can see Monty breaking it.
Probably Monty. Hopefully Gibbs can add a few more receiving touchdowns to his repertoire, but probably more likely Monty. He's still the more powerful bruising back, and he's going to get the goal line carries. At least I would assume.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
more Monty.
Sorry, JB?
No, I was just going to say it's more Monty than a Gibbs. I hope for Gibbs, but I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be Monty.
Got you. Tony D, mailbag. Broder and crew, what do you do with Kenta Maeda? He says you cut and bring up Manning.
DFA.
What's your strategy?
DFA. You are.
Yeah.
Like, or, he's got a blister on his hand. He's got to hit the 15/60 day injured list, and he's got to get his stuff right. He even admitted it after the game.
Yeah.
He said through his interpreter, he's pitching like a AAA arm right now.
I mean, the reality is that when you look at the Detroit Tigers schedule right now on ESPN, it shows Kenta Maeda as the Sunday starter against the Dodgers. That cannot happen.
God.
It cannot happen. You are basically saying that
It's a home run derby.
This is a win that the Tigers cannot have. And seeing how and seeing how the Tigers have taken 2 out of the first 3, that game Sunday against the Dodgers could be really important. You can't have Kenta Maeda out there.
We just talked about don't give away games. This was our whole Maeda segment yesterday.
Right.
Now you're just like, hey, let's just kill all the momentum. I don't understand.
Factual. 100%. IT Hips, mailbag. If the Tigers are able to win 3 out of 4 against the Guardians and 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers,
wow,
do you think the Tigers will be buyers, sellers, or stay put? So these next few games change their trade deadline strategy.
I'll tell you what, guys. I've got a name in mind if the Tigers can. 5-2 would be amazing, even if they're 4-3 on this homestand that I'm looking at to potentially buy. I'll just say that. I'm going to save that for our front office flannel, but one hint, he does play in the division.
Ooh. Interesting.
Hey, yo.
Intriguing.
That's
all right.
Wait,
here's one last question to maybe kick off another few minutes. Dirty Dr. D, mailbag. Will Sam be a JMO meat rider by week 3 or later? So over under.
He might be
3.
I see what you did there. You
and a
brought
half.
the conversation full circle.
Oh yeah,
I would say
it's a rhythm thing. It's a rhythm.
I would say over. It's gonna take Sam damn near the whole season to finally get on the JMO bandwagon, man. But he gonna get there. I'm confident.
How do we get him to Riley Green levels of faith, hope, and support?
I don't think that's ever possible because some of the
if JMO give you 1,000 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns, you gonna be on the train.
I said I'd get his jersey.
Yeah,
because I've said a lot of stuff about him. It's just some of the fans. I think they're sociopaths. I'm sorry. Maybe that's a little bit too hard of a word, but
And 2-sap now.
This has really. I had to walk up here because
get him, Justin.
Sam will ride the spite train all the way to the end. He will not be getting off the highway as much as he says so. He will be taking the ship down until we literally.
He ain't even stopping at rest areas.
No. He's going down with the ship. Until the Lions literally win a Super Bowl and J-Mo makes the play to win the Super Bowl, he is not getting on the train. I have seen this man.
You've seen him in an NFC Championship. It can happen.
I have never seen this man hard defend a player on the other side than you against Jameson Williams. And the way that you get so emotional about it, it's literally like how emotional you get when you like Riley Green and like Aiden Hutchinson is how much you hate Jameson Williams. That is what this is, and it is like he's going to have to make the play of plays to get you on his side.
See, that was nice, Justin. That was nice. What did I say yesterday when we were having a real conversation about it? I said a breakout season for Jameson Williams. I'll do the whole thing. I'll even do the Broder stuff because you're here to defend yourself. I say a breakout season for Jameson Williams, other than the Lions winning a Super Bowl and him contributing, which I'd be fine. I'd be happy no matter what. Like for his numbers, between 800 and 1,100 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns. That to me is a real breakout season for him. What I did say though is that at some point, and this was directed at Broder because I went back and saw some of the comments from a Monday show. That was a hell of a show, by the way. No. I almost had a heart attack on air, but that's neither here nor there. One thing when it comes to
I just said.
When it comes to the Jameson Williams slappies, which actually I don't think that you're the worst. Neil Rule is by far the worst. It's not even close. But it's that no matter what happens on the football field, this is a number 12 overall pick. And you kept saying, even when he's just out there, his presence just changes defenses. Oh, he just opens up the field so much. Yep. Everybody was opining about, the run blocking on David Montgomery. My point is that eventually that has to turn into production. You can't have it to where he's a superstar, even if he just opens up the field or if his presence changes defenses. He has to produce at some point. You guys are treating him.
But he scores every 7 times he touches the ball.
A lot of players do that, by the way. People act like that's rare or something. So does Romeo Dobbs. So does Christian Watson, at least last year.
Get him, Broder.
I'm just saying.
Broder, get on
He
his
has
ass.
to produce. He has not produced. I think he will produce.
Get your mans, Broder.
But he has not produced. But people treat him like he's their son.
Broder, get your mans.
Okay, go ahead.
Broder looks like those politicians who it's like, okay, he's sitting patiently, but he's ready to go.
Well, he's got a point on a lot. He said it's where it came from. And so I got to throw a question back at you. Does it not make a difference when Jameson Williams is out on the field, whether he catches the ball or not? Does it not make a difference? Does the defensive coordinator not have to plan for him? Does every single secondary player have to think about Jameson Williams and what he can do and affects the game?
It does affect the game, but you guys are treating it like it's if Amon-Ra St. Brown catches a touchdown, Jameson Williams opened up the field.
You came at me with the slappy. You said talking about victory lapping without producing, which is fair, but you took it from our conversation Monday where I used Jameson Williams on the field affecting the game as an example, as a similarity to a runner on first base who steals second base. A runner with speed changes everything about what a defensive team on a baseball field has to do and what a pitcher has to do and think about. There are about 5 to 7 extra things that a pitcher has to consider with a runner on first or second base when they have speed. So that's where it came from. I say something positive about Jameson Williams, you get labeled a slappy, you get labeled a gobbler.
Ooh.
It's the problem I have with people calling just out of nowhere using golf gobblers and slappies as their way to make their point. Like it's a bad thing for people to be positive or say something positive in support of a team that they're a fan of. But we need to cut that shit out.
All right, Broder,
Because I was talking about it in relation to him compared to Parker Meadows on first base and what it does to the strategy of the game, how it affects the game without a stat being tied to it. And I don't mean to take a shot at stats. I'm just saying what the defense, what defensive coordinators, what the shortstop, the pitcher, the second base, it changes everything when you got a runner with speed. Jameson Williams standing out on the field before you say hike changes everything about what a defense has to plan for.
I'm glad that you gave that perspective because I'm going to give you mine, and I think we can have an adult conversation because we're both mature. Where I'm coming from is when I criticize Jameson Williams, people call me every single name in the book. They say, I don't understand how you can say anything, like I hate him personally or something like that.
You do get ripped pretty hard for
I get destroyed.
And you're just being critical.
And you're not wrong, but you don't seem to see the upside that everybody else sees. Like, I get the things that have happened in the past. Some things weren't necessarily his fault. Some things were. You're not wrong, but can you not see the upside and why people are behind JMO so much?
I can, but when it comes to the pantheon of Lions offensive players, I don't even have them in the top 5 right yet. And that's not crazy. That's not insane.
No.
You got Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Penei Sewell before you even have to think about it. Sam Laporta. That's my point, is that I need to see more. And I do think, and like I said, I have been a little bit, I would say, hardened by some of the pushback I've gotten.
Is it safe to say your main argument is, your main argument is because he was the 12th pick, you need to see him produce like stats on offense. And I agree with you. He needs to catch the ball. He needs to 750 to 1,000 yards. Like if you're going to be the number 12 overall pick, you need to do more. Is that your main?
Yes, but one of the main caveat I gave yesterday, I think we would all agree with this. If Jameson Williams contributes in any way to a Super Bowl, even if he becomes, I'm not saying he will, even if he becomes 2009 Saints Reggie Bush, I'll let everything go because it's the Lions winning a damn Super Bowl. It's just when it comes to his numbers.
Yeah.
The man has put up 395 career receiving yards.
Yes.
That's undeniable. He also had a damn good NFC Championship game. That's also undeniable. Both things are true. You can't ignore reality. And also, when we had that question, who's more primed for a breakout, Jaden Ivey or Jameson Williams? I did say JMO.
Yeah.
I did. I think he's going to hit that 800 to 1,100 all-purpose yards. And like I said, if he has 1,000 receiving, not all-purpose, he has 1,000 receiving, I will gladly wear the jersey.
Yeah, and basically you're less eager to kind of jump on the optimism train, and not just because he's the 12th overall pick, but because the amount of years he's been in the NFL right now. It'd be different, I think, if he was first year, maybe even second year, and we got to see a little bit more about him, but we just haven't seen that yet. So I do kind of understand being a little hesitant, but I am bullish on J-Mo this year.
No, that's 100% fair. And let me just respond to this really quick. Dakota Mullet, he's never been a 2, which he's going to get that opportunity with Josh Reynolds going. He does what is asked of him. Now he's asked to be a 2. How hard is that? 364 receiving yards. That's not, or it's 354. My bad. I actually gave him 10 extra. But seriously, like me saying that I want more, me being critical, me think he's being overvalued is not in. You guys make it seem like I should be locked in a padded cell room for stuff like that. And I'm like, what the F are we talking about?
But it's just like when you look at how the Lions utilized him, a lot more players had a lot more targets than J-Mo, including Josh Reynolds, you know? Yes. So I do get what you're saying, but he wasn't a focal point last year. They decided to use him in here and there in his spurts. If he's given more of an opportunity, you can see the type of impact he can make.
100%, but he's got to earn it. You're not given targets, it's not your birthright. It's not
true. And Dan Campbell is not.
And how do you earn it? How do you get the rock?
More playing time.
You block.
Yes.
You block, you get the rock.
That's
how you earn it. And that's what he did all season. So I think we're all kind of arguing the same thing.
Okay.
And I think this is where the fun jab at you is, okay, just acknowledge that a block is important. Yeah, we can joke about that. But I think we're both on the same page. Yeah. He's got to earn it. He's got to play more like a number 12 overall pick. On the flip side, I think we got to look at his role in this offense and the impact he makes just differently than most traditional wide receivers. No, because he's not a traditional wide receiver.
Yeah, and the block was important. I will give you that. But the very next day, or it was the next time I was on Big D Energy, and a lot of people echoed this, and I thought people were insane. Neil Rule said that block showed me more than any catch he could have made, and I'm just like,
that's part of the team.
But I get it. But no matter what he does, even if he's not a part of the play, it's just every single time he does even the slightest thing, it's like a victory lap at me. I have to deal with it. 11-yard catch. Oh, would a bust ever do that? Yes, busts have made 11-yard catches before. I'm not saying that Jameson Williams is a bust. I'm just saying that, yes, blocking is important, but the reason we love Amon-Ra St. Brown, the reason that we revere guys like, and I'm using the extreme of the extreme, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Justin Jefferson, for example, we don't think about their blocking. The reason we love Amon-Ra St. Brown is 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns, whether you like it or not. It just is what it is. We all acknowledge that he's a pit bull, that he's a hard worker, that he's not afraid to stick his nose in, but he's also one of the best receivers in the NFL. He was awarded with a first-team All-Pro.
Factual. And the Lions' offense, too, and their identity, which we're looking for with the Pistons, their identity is what we know of the Lions. It is those little things. Amon-Ra St. Brown scores a touchdown against Tampa Bay in Week 6. What was the most important play of that game? Not him actually scoring the touchdown. It was Craig Reynolds.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the highlights we talk about, all the shows talk about, as one of the best plays of the year, a block.
Yes.
And most teams, maybe not every Super Bowl winning team will say that. But for this Detroit Lions team, those are the things that a lot of fans like to recognize. There hasn't been a laundry list of things we can talk about to hype J-Mo up since the start of his career. It's been turbulent. So when we do see him do stuff like that, it gives us hope that even if he doesn't turn into that number 12, that traditional number 2, he's doing the right things to help this team get to a Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm so pumped for that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, and hopefully he takes full advantage of this opportunity to be the number 2. There's a lot of people out there who believe in him. Even you were saying 800 to 1,100 all-purpose yards for J-Mo, which would be an absolute success.
Yeah, and I think that that's reasonable. Like, if I was being a true, a-hole, I would say he's got to get 15. People accuse me of doing this. Oh, does he have to get 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns? No, I gave you my expectation, and I will do it one more time so that you can't. I'll speak very clearly and slowly.
For the people in the back.
For the people in the back. In order for Jameson Williams, numbers-wise, to have the breakout year, I want between 800 and 1,100 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns. I will even, if he does 1,050 and 6, I won't be mad at that. There's wiggle room. I'm just saying, I think that's very fair and reasonable given the fact that Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta are still going to get the lion's share of the targets, pun intended.
Nice. What a show.
Glorious overtime.
What a show, baby.
Let's rock.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Let's rock.
Way over.
We have to balance out because some of the other shows they like to take off, 4 or 5, 6 minutes before. It's not like our business model is getting viewers or anything. Yeah. We got to balance it out.
That's
right. I love you guys, by the way.
Love you guys. Hey, welcome back to the show as well, Broder. Bring a little bit of the spice and the flair.
I'm glad I got this. Actually, this is a good last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was good. Listen. Like Flannel said, everybody here is mature. Can handle their conversations and their debates. We've had some good ones here on Wake Up Woodward, as have others across Woodward Sports. It's the time to wrap this thing up, break it down.
Yeah.
Let's rock, man. Shout out to our special guest today, GREG KELSER, for joining the show. Absolute legend, 1979 NCAA champion with the Michigan State Spartans. Number 4 first round draft pick of the Detroit Pistons in 1979 as well. What a year for him. And has just been an absolute legend as well as a broadcaster too. You're talking about a guy, like you said, who's been a legend in multiple careers. Thank you, Greg, for giving us your time. Go back if you missed that segment and check it out. He gives us a whole lot of good stuff, man. So definitely. It's been a show. It's been a week. I know we got one more day. Friday is just a day away. Friday's show is probably going to be off the rails from the get-go. But let's get this thing going. Shout out to... What up, though?
No, go ahead. I'll say it when it comes to me.
All right. Shout out to the vet of the squad, Flannel, Sam Reynolds. Great job, brother.
Oh, thank you. You as well. GREG KELSER, that was an absolute honor, getting to ask him a question, getting to listen to what he's doing to help out the youth of the world right now. I absolutely love it. And Broder, that was a good talk at the end. I like it when when I can see where you're coming from and you can see where I'm coming from, and it's not just... stuff on a keyboard that maybe 100%. Maybe there was context lacking. Yeah. I'll give you that.
100%. I got your back.
Yep. Shout out to that dude, Justin. Continues to just work hard and bring the energy every single day. And we got to get to this elite, stupendous, wonderful, magnificent, great, some handsome looking dudes in this booth, man. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick. We got KG in the sound booth. What up, though, Black Hollywood?
Man, you know what it is, man. This is just what we do, man. We
red pill, blue pill.
Man. We're live, but
red pill, blue pill. What we doing?
Red pill. Oh, you silly as hell.
More
man just walked in, man. Sorry, we taking up overtime, but love y'all, love the crew. See y'all tomorrow, man.
Shout out to D-Mac.
What's going on? You guys all Bickerstaffed up?
Bickerstaffed up.
Bickerstaff, the press conference yesterday?
You know what? He won the press conference. Good. Obviously, now it's just about executing, but in terms of the vision, he laid it out. I like it.
Great coverage. Absolutely. I'm sure we'll talk about it on Big D Energy.
Tap into Big D.
Oh, wait. While we got D-Mac right behind me. D-Mac, how many wings are in the Winged Wheel logo?
I didn't know how many wings are in. I did know that it was 2 wings, back.
That's it.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
I thought you meant how many little wings are in.
Oh, yeah. Poorly phrased question.
Let's go.
I didn't phrase the question well, but you got it.
You win the cake because I think I'm supposed to know that, right?
Yeah.
If I am the prodigal son, right, from across the border.
The mayor of Hockey Town.
I think, who I think told me that? Hedlund.
Wow.
Back in the day, talking about, culture, the history and different things of how it was. That's the great part now is that we're not as far out of the game as maybe those guys were to our age. So there's a little bit more connect.
Yeah.
The players these days.
Am I turtling right now?
Turtle.
A little bit.
Yeah, you can be in a short second. All right, wind it up.
Let's go. D-Mac, the legend, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, defender, and guardian of Detroit. But I got to make sure that I pay the homage to Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth. What up, though? Our resident Sparty.
breasts. Look, thank you so much to GREG KELSER showing up today. It was an honor having you sit in with us this morning. Also, happy birthday to my homeboy Kenny Kendricks. It's his birthday today. An amazing show.
Shout out. Happy birthday.
Today. Just amazing.
Hey. And our credential Lions and Tigers reporter and writer, that's Matthew Broder.
Yes, sir. Get your bars in for Bar King tomorrow by 10 p.m. Email me, broder@woodwardsports.com. It's the same time frame I hold these guys to, 10 p.m. If it's 10:01, they're not getting read on air.
Let's rock.
Let's rock. Great show. I didn't mean to end it so
no,
aggressively.
And it's your boy, Brendan. Let me try to. Brendan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. This has been Wake Up Woodward. I'm trying to be as aggressive as Broder, man.
Right.
Hey, but no, you know what? It's been a great show. Thank you guys for staying tapped in, chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. Go ahead and smash that like button to support your Woo crew. You know what? We'll do the chest pass tomorrow, man. But thank you guys, man. Have a blessed day.